Hello and welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to discuss about the questions. Those were published on our YouTube community tab, and those were the questions, question number 23 to 32. So those who have already attempted the question, those will be well in position to know about the questions as well as answer the questions. So here we will start with the question, that is question number 23. So the first question was, recumbent mountains are type of. So basically, if you the fundamentals of physical geography, simply the NCERT class 11th book, then you will find all these type of mountains have already been discussed in that book. So this question was a very basic question, right? And most of the students who work, they don't go through the basic books, they don't have the conceptual clarity, and later on they say that sir to kahin padha hi nahi, kahin mila hi nahi. Because the higher level books, if you study the Savinder Singh, then you will find it there, but many of the books will not go on to discuss such small tidbits, and that is where the students find the problem, that they don't know about the basics, they don't know, have the conceptual clarity. And here the question says that the recumbent mountains are the type of. So first one is residual mountain. Not residual mountains are those mountains which have got earlier, those were high rise mountains and those have got eroded, denuded, and thereafter the residue of the earlier high level high rise mountains are left behind. And Aravali in Rajasthan is one of the example of residual mountain. Next one is block mountain. So the block mountains are basically formed due to faulting, right? And the example of such kind of mountains are Satpura ranges, etc. That is between the Narmada and Tapi Rift Valley, right? Next is the volcanic mountains. So here the volcanic mountains clearly says that these mountains are the outcome of volcanic eruption like Mount Etna, Mount Kilimanjaro, etc. And the last one is the fold mountain. So the fold mountain is the answer. The recumbent mountains basically during are uplifted, then different types are formed like synclinal fault, etc. And here the recumbent fault is a type of fault where the one limb has got overridden over the another limb in a mountain forming process, and such kind of mountains in the fold mountain system is called as the recumbent mountain. So the answer will be D, that is recumbent mountain. The next question was, in which of the following state flying squirrels are found? Simple question, that is from environment and ecology, right? And here the students do what? They don't go through the proper map of the national parks and the major types of species those are found in those national parks. And here the answer will be B, that is Arunachal Pradesh, because Assam is not the place where it is found. Basically, the flying squirrels are found in the Namdapha National Park, that is located in Arunachal Pradesh. However, some of the species of the flying squirrels are found in some other states, but their number is not so high. But their major abode is Arunachal Pradesh, that is in Namdapha National Park, right? Now come to the next question. It is a statement like question, argumentative question and quite long. So here it says that consider the following statements with reference to pyrolysis. So the pyrolysis is nowadays being used too much to manage the waste, municipal waste, etc. And here what is done, basically in this process, there are two statements that it involves a change in the chemical composition. So it is correct, because what happens in the pyrolysis process, in the absence of oxygen, the material, the waste, whatever it is heated to a very high temperature, and because of that what happens in this process, the next statement will be there, the volatile component is removed and leaves the solid residue enriched in carbon is left behind. So again it is a correct statement, because in the absence of oxygen, when the material, the waste is heated to very high temperature, then due to absence of temperature the carbon doesn't get oxidized, but the volatile gases or materials whatever are present in that waste got evaporated and removed, and thereafter as the carbon has not got burnt out, it will be left behind and the residue will be carbon rich. And here if it is done to a very high temperature and there is very high carbon content because of that, then it is also called as carbonization. This process is also called as carbonization, in which we find very high amount of carbon, right? Now, so here the statement, both the statement will be correct, that is option C, 1 and 2 both. Now come to the next question. So here it is a governance related question, that Pradhan Mantri Innovative Learning Program, Dhruv. So here the keyword is Dhruv, has been started by. So here which of the ministry is the nodal ministry for this program? This is the question. And most of the time you will find such kind of questions in the UPSC as well as in the state PCS. So you have to be through such kind of social upliftment programs and developmental programs. So here the first statement is that the Ministry of Environment and Forest. So this is not the correct answer. Next is the Ministry of Rural Development and Sanitation. It is also not the correct answer. Next one is the Ministry of Human Resource Development. So this is the correct answer, and none of the above will be definitely not the answer. And this is the program which has been started, initiated by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to realize the potential of those innovative students, those curious students who are capable of, who have the potential to do some innovative work and do some innovations in different fields. So such kind of students will be supported by the HRD ministry to realize their potential in case they don't have the potential to develop it by their own, right? Now come to the next question, and here it says that the dioxins and furans, so these are the two gases, and these are classified as highly contaminating and toxic chemicals. So these chemicals or the gases are basically carcinogenic gases. These gases may cause cancer in the people, and here it says that the chemicals having the serious effect on the human health because these are carcinogenic gases, and which of the following are the sources from which they are released? And the options are cigarette smoking. So the cigarettes are definitely the source of dioxins and the furans, right? Many of the students will find that this might not be there because many of the students also go on to release their pressure through smoking the cigarette, right? And here it is a carcinogenic gas that is present in the cigarettes also, and that is why cigarette smoking is injurious to health, and not only because of this but because of various other factors also that is involved in cigarette smoking. Next is dyes and pigments. Those dyes and pigments which are used during the painting of the house, etc., for making of furnitures, various other processes are there in which the dyes and the pigments are being used, and these pigments also release these gases. So the second statement is also correct, and the municipal solid waste burning. Definitely municipal waste is the source of all kinds of toxins and all kinds of pollutants, and that is why the municipal waste management is one of the biggest issue nowadays, right? So here again the answer will be all the three, that is 1, 2 and 3, that is option D, right? Now come to the next question. Here the next question says that with the reference to extended producer's responsibility. So this word, three words, three magical words, we came on to hear it time and again in different issues, right? Like you will find these words related to plastic issues, also related to electronic waste management, e-waste management, also lithium ion battery waste management, also various things are there in which this extended producer's responsibility issue is found. Let us find it out. So the question says the following statements related to this three words. So it says that it is a policy in which producers have to take responsibility for the management and disposal. The keyword management and disposal of the products after they are considered no longer useful by the consumer. So here first statement says that the management of such wastes, e-waste or plastic waste, whatever it is, such responsibility has been shifted from the consumer to the producers to manage it and dispose it of, that is in the environment friendly manner, right? And here the next statement says that it shifts the burden of disposal from the user to the producer. So it is just a kind of supportive statement that is supporting the first statement, right? So these two statements are correct, and again here the answer will be C, that is both 1 and 2, right? So if anybody is having any kind of confusion, you may go on to comment in the comment box and I will reply accordingly, right? Next question is, which of the following may be the consequence of increased thawing of permafrost region of the earth? So which are the regions? Those are called as the permafrost region of the earth. So here the permafrost regions are those regions which are perennially covered with ice. Year-long ice cover exists over there, and here this type of land surface will be found in the polar regions as well as in the mountainous regions like the Himalayan mountains region, where there are glaciers, Ural mountains, as well as Rockies mountains, Andes mountains. Such kind of regions will have the permafrost region. So now considering the permafrost region, here the question asks that we have to consider these statements, that is it may pose a threat to the local ecosystem. Definitely if there will be melting of the permafrost, then there will be loss of ice and there will be exposure of the soil, which will completely change the ecosystem of that region, and there will be loss of local ecosystem. The lichens and the mosses, the main vegetation of that region will be lost, and from that the vegetation will shift to the bushes, right? Next statement says that it may cause the damage to the local infrastructure. Definitely this is also going to happen, because as soon as the permafrost get dissolved in the water, that will be provided the melting of the ice, and there may be the flow of the stream of the mud, that is solifluction will be there. Next statement says that it may further aggravate the global warming Why it will aggravate the global warming? Definitely because there are various gases which are trapped in the permafrost region, and mainly the major gas that will cause the global warming is the methane gas, because the methane gas have the highest global warming potential, the carbon equivalent per ton. And because of that, what will happen? There will be increase in the mean average temperature of the earth, and that will cause the global warming, right? So all the statements are correct. Now here it says that consider the correct option. So here answer will be D, that is all of the three statements are correct. Next question, that is map marking type question. Tropics of Cancer passes through which of the following states? Simple question, that is from NCERT, India Physical, right? And here just you have to know the states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes, and various other facts you should know. While reading the NCERT book, you should go through the maps religiously. तभी पता रहेगा कि कहाँ से ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर पार हो रही है, फ्रॉम वेयर द इंटरनेशनल, right? So here Rajasthan is the state, it is the correct answer. Next is Madhya Pradesh, it is also correct. However, Odisha is not correct. The Tropic of Cancer does not passes through Odisha. And next one is Tripura. Most of the students commit the mistake here. Tripura, like two northeastern states, are also crossed over by the Tropic of Cancer, and here the students commit the mistake that they don't know that Tripura and Mizoram are also crossed over by the Tropic of Cancer. And the next is Jharkhand. So these four states are the states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes, and this is in the option only. Rest of the state I will show you in the next slide. So here the answer will be C, that is 1, 2, 4 and 5. Now come to the map. Here the map shows that Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura and Mizoram. So these are the 7 states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes in India. Not 3 only. Rajasthan is also there. Some portion of Rajasthan also gets crossed over by the Tropic of Cancer. So in total it makes 8 states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes, right? Now come to the next question, that is the natural processes release various pollutants. Obviously various natural processes also release various pollutants. Now the next statement says that which of the following are the natural sources of sulfur dioxide, SO2? So sulfur dioxide is also a pollutant, atmospheric pollutant, and here it says that marshes and peatlands. So what are the marshes and the peatland? The bog type vegetation, the marshes, marshland, are those regions where the water is logged, and because of that there are some vegetations, those have got collected over there, they are getting decomposed in anaerobic situation or aerobic situation, whatever it is. And during that process what happens, whatever the sulfur, nitrogen, carbon, etc., whatever has got trapped in that bog vegetation, that marshes and the peatlands, gets released during the process of decomposition. And this is the process through which naturally these land features contribute the pollutants to the atmosphere. Next is volcanic eruption. Obviously the volcanic eruption also release various pollutants during the explosion of the volcanoes, right? Next is hot springs. So the hot springs are the regions, hot springs are the geographical feature, geological features where we find that the hot water is coming from the surface of the earth, out of the surface of the earth, from beneath the surface of the earth, like from the hot water chambers, or those aquifers or the chambers which are over some kind of volcanic chamber or magma chamber or some hot regions, and because of that there is eruption of hot water, and this release of hot water also contributes various pollutants to the atmosphere, and one of the major pollutant is the sulfur dioxide that is dissolved in the water, and after it comes out of the surface of the earth, after the coming out of the interior of the earth, that sulfur dioxide gets released. The answer, that is 1-2 question, that is, which of the following substances can cause cooling of the earth's atmosphere? So basically the earth atmosphere gets heated when it receives the insolation from the sun. The insolation comes to the surface of the earth, and thereafter the atmosphere gets heated from beneath through the terrestrial radiation, right? So during the terrestrial, long wave terrestrial radiation, the heat is added to the atmosphere from beneath, not from the above. Directly from the sunlight the atmosphere gets heated. However, the volcanic dust will cause the cooling of the atmosphere, because the volcanic dust will create a dust type of cloud, dust content cloud, which will increase the albedo of the atmosphere, the reflection of the atmosphere, right? The sunlight will get reflected back to the space. Because of that, there will be not enough insolation to the surface of the earth, and if the surface of the earth will not be in position to receive the heat or the sunlight, then how will be it in position to release the long wave terrestrial radiation? And that is why it will cause the cooling of the earth's atmosphere. Next is salt particles present in the atmosphere. The same situation will be there will be increase in the albedo, as well as the salt particles will also act as the hygroscopic nuclei, which will cause the formation of the clouds, and the clouds will again cause the albedo. Because of that, there will be decrease in the temperature of the atmosphere or the cooling of the atmosphere. Next is pure nitrate. Again, these will cause the cloud formation, and there will be formation of cloud, which will lead to the increase in the albedo. So these questions are basically very basic questions, right? And again, here the answer will be option C, that is 1, 2 and 3. And most of the students go on to commit very silly mistakes in these questions because they don't have the appropriate conceptual clarity. NCERT पढ़ते ही नहीं है स्टूडेंट्स, सीधा सर नोट्स दे दीजिए, नोट्स ले लिए, पढ़ लिए, ठीक है, नोट्स में सब कुछ है, बट द फाउंडेशन, द कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लियरिटी, द नोट इज just a gist answer of the tricky questions. These tricky questions, however, these can be answered quite easily with the knowledge of NCERT and the basic books. And later on, do join our test series, and thereafter you will be in position to practice the various questions, and you will be in a good position to answer the tricky questions, because there will be different level of questions: easy questions, medium level questions, and the tough questions, right? Here, last but not the least, if you want to prepare for the UPSC civil services religiously for the UPSC civil services exam 2023, then do join our course that is starting on 28th of March 2022. This will be the foundation batch, which will be an offline batch, which will cover the whole prelims and mains syllabus. And here you will find the hand holding till the final selection, as well as you will get the personal mentoring also. And for further details, get in touch with us on this mobile number and WhatsApp number. You can also call us on our landline number. And for further details and the syllabus, etc., you can visit our website, and you can also follow us on our Facebook and Instagram handle. This is our Telegram handle where you will find various updates also. And do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Thank you very much and have a nice day.